Okay, so today we are arriving in South America once again, and we're gonna talk about Brazil. From those who doesn't know, Brazil, it's pretty much, in my opinion, and I think everybody agree, a flat country. The Amazon River goes to it, and most of the cities, if not the major ones, except a few, are on the coastline. So if that it's interesting for you, I just feel like should make just a bit of geography. Now, the population of Brazil, it's 212 million people, and right now they rank in 7 in world population. The problem with Brazil population, I think a viewer asked me to make a video, and I cannot find the comment to just post it, but I remember someone says if I can make a video by Brazil. So I was looking in Brazil and I saw how bad actually things are, and Brazil, I think it's one of those things that one of those countries that's gonna show it the best. Now they still going, at least for now, on the up trajectory. They're still growing, but, and here it's a huge but for the Brazil. Let's look at the 1955 when Brazil was just 62 million people, and they have a yearly change, a growth at more than 3%. The median age, the average citizens in Brazil was 17 years old, and the fertility rate, get this one, over 6. Okay, so that's right here, 6 and 17. That's insane. Can you imagine just have an average of the fertility rate of 6? Okay, 6. And you already see from 1955, and also the urban population was 41%, so more than half of the people living in the country area. That's important. You're gonna see why. And also they rank in 8, now they 7, so they just step up a bit, one position. Now the migration was a bit on plus, not that much, but you can see from 1965 it's just pretty much on minus, and I can see it's remain like that pretty much forever. Now back to our days, 2025, the population grew to 212 million people. The yearly change right now is 0.38, so it's huge difference around. But I don't go to those numbers, because those 3%, it's obviously from 62 million. Now we have 0.32 from 212 million, but still they have in 1955 1.7, 1.8 million new people. Let's say they grow with new people that coming in the total population, the average, because you have the birth rate, birth, then the death, and you just have a number. This is what back then, and now they have 813,000 yearly change, so already less than half they used to be. And also here we have migration on positive. Now we have a lot of negative. Now the median age is 34 years, almost 35 years old. So look at it, just more, let's say almost more than double. I'm not that good at math, but the shocking number is the fertility rate from over 6. Now you are at 1.6, which is insane. You already are below replacement after 2000. In 2000 was reported as 2.25, so which is good for replacement. That's a healthy number right here. And immediately after that you just go under 2, and now you are at 1.6. And look at how much the difference is between 6 and 1.6. That's insane. Also, most of the people, they just move in the cities. Look at this, 91% of the population live in the cities in Brazil. That's again a huge number, especially in a country that big, when we tend to associate them with that native lifestyle, I would say. Depends how you see Brazil. You can see it as a very modern nation, or a nation that you see it in documentaries, and they pretty much even they go in the cities, or they go in the Amazon River area and they make a documentary about natives. So depends how you can see in Brazil, but like I can tell you right now, Brazil, it's pretty much 100%, almost 100% in the urban area. Now in the future, we're gonna skip 2030 because we are very close to that, but we're gonna go to 2050. They are already on mine, so the population already declined. If now you have 212, in 2050 you can have 217 million. And I already said in the other videos, I do not think those numbers are actually accurate. I think they go down much faster than that, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna take those numbers as they are. And the fertility rate, they are already low. It's gonna be 1.56, like I say. Probably it's gonna be even lower than that. But from 17 years old, median age, 1955, just 100 years later, you're gonna go at 43, which again, it's more than double. Even by the today's standard, 2025 at 34, you almost put 10 years in 25 years. So that shows me a lot about the population. Just they go so fast down, in my opinion, because you can see the fertility rate very low, the median age skyrocketing. And also you have migration that is they projected going down a bit, so that's kind of show maybe they improve better than the neighborhoods, and then they're not that willing to just flee outside, but still they still have a huge problem, especially in this department in a median age. And like I said, you can see fertility rate, they already, those numbers are not sustainable in my opinion. You can have a look at this. Probably the Brazil population should be around 50 million, even lower than that, to do well, especially with those economies right now. But again, that's my share of things. And obviously the 2050, 98% in urban area, that's pretty much 100%. I'm gonna call it. Just have less than 2% living outside the cities. That's nothing in my opinion. Most of the cities, especially the top 15, they have over 1 million people. Sao Paulo, which is the biggest one with 12 million people, absolutely huge city. Now, infant mortality and death under 5, they are pretty high, I would say. Anything over 10, I would consider it high. Anything under 5, I would say very developed country, and we have 1 or 2. That's very good. Now, life expectancy is 76-year-old for the both sexes. Females almost 80, males 73. You can see they pretty much constantly climb. I think there was a short spike down in 2020 with the pandemic. You can actually see something happen here, and we can associate that very easy with the pandemic. Now, the problem with Brazil, I can say the average Brazilian, I do not think they do that well in their countries. I'm not from there. I'm never visit there, but from what I can see, especially you can see those, like I say, even documentary, even videos on YouTube how they live, and pretty much like people go there in two positions. Even they go in the countryside, in the wilderness, and make some documentary, or they go in the towns. And you can see in some town, let's say, I don't know, let's go with Rio. You have such a different population. I think even you are extremely rich there and you're doing very well, or you live in those favelas, I think they call it. So you already pretty much your country choose for you, I would say. Even you are on the good side, on the bad side. That's again my opinion. You can disagree with that. And also, I do not think they do that well. I think they have that scandal after the World Cup, if I remember correctly, when they put all those money in those stadiums and infrastructure, and pretty much right now it's not that much use, if at all, especially not on the full capacity. And you can see I would make a parallel between how well Brazil is doing as a country right now, and you can hate me for this, and how well the national team is doing right now, especially after that. How much was with Germany? I think it was 1-7, if I remember correctly. and even now on the world stage, Brazil is not what it used to be. So you can find some parallels. Maybe it's like I say, it's just me, but I think you can find some type or some models that you can associate, because I cannot see how Brazil, especially for this remaining century, how actually they will end up and when they're gonna land, if they're gonna be in time, let's say the population goes down and let's see the corruption also goes down and the GDP still continue, because the GDP, the money is gonna still continue, but how well they're gonna spread that over the population, so actually can see a really change there. Because like I say, in pretty much every single country on this planet right now, the population goes down. I think that people realize that this number, like 6 fertility rate, it cannot be sustained. There's no way you can do it. And you can argue that the reason why this number is such a low right now, and probably it's even lower than that, the older generation is pretty much robbed this generation of having kids just by that, not because when you have that many people in one place, you have usually high taxes because you have social programs and stuff like that, and all those, I don't believe in them. I don't think they work. But it feels like they kind of rob the current generation of having kids, especially with so much bureaucracy going in pretty much all the countries right now. And that's even those new generation of people that 20, 25, 30 years old right now, they kind of realize that even if they have money, having that many kids, especially 6, which is insane, it's again unsustainable even for your life. Even if you have it's fun, it's okay to have kids, it's fun, you have to leave something behind, but you don't have to leave that much. Not 6, and definitely you cannot take care of all those 6, especially I would say equally or the same as the first one, because people are gonna say when they have the second child, I hear that for a few persons that they don't have the same patience that they have with the first one. So with the first one, we don't know what you're getting in. You get more careful with that. We just trying to make things at the book, and it end up having better care, I would say, than if you choose to have a second one or a third one. That's I heard from people who have kids. So I don't take it from me, just say what those people say to me. So back to Brazil now. I do not know how to predict about them, because they're different, but again, they can end up in one of those two scenarios. Even the populations go down, that's no debate on that, but how they're gonna land by the end of the century is gonna be a huge difference in how actually average Brazilian live than they live today, or who knows, maybe it's gonna make it even worse. I can honestly, I do not know. I do not know how to say about that. If you are a Brazilian and you can see especially some changes, even if it's good or bad, and you want to debate, want to discuss in the comment section, I would be interested in that. But like I say, when population goes down, usually, especially with the system that we have now, it's supposed to be at least a good thing, because you can this year they started 62 million and now they are like 216 million. So you can see a huge population growth in such a short window. And like I said, these 6 numbers, it's insane. Where you can see those numbers, probably in African countries. Definitely, I don't think you can have that in Europe at some point. Not even I don't think the US have that number. And now, in such a short period, just you go drop from the 6 to just 1.6. Again, that shows me there are also some differences in culture, because, like I said, the video people say, because Mexican is such close to America. Look, just because you have some common economic interest doesn't make you that close. And pretty much, if you go right now in every city on the earth, you're gonna find skyscrapers, and pretty much they all look the same. You lost once with the globalization. You lost that internal culture, especially in an architecture segment, when now you just pretty much have to build the same thing because it's cheaper, it's standardized, and in my opinion it's pretty much sterile. But again, that's a different topic. Now, like I said, with the Brazilian, especially from the past and to the present, we can still see a growth, but the median age up a lot, and also the fertility rate huge decrease, absolutely insane decrease. Yeah, that was the video. I hope that person who asked me to make the video is gonna watch it, and if you watch it and you are probably from Brazil, leave a comment and say how good or how wrong I got the video. But like I say, from the Brazil, and having that a low fertility rate and the average age going up so fast, and like I say, it's not, I don't consider Brazil one of those, and definitely it is not one of the Western world, and because in the Western world I can have some hopes, especially in the technology segment, that they can fix, especially they can have that baseline, right? Like baseline, I think is pretty much homeless. If you don't have, let's say, nothing, then I think with that they're gonna raise that baseline to anyone have a house, anyone have food, no worry about the bills. You cannot, let's say, travel the world or stuff like that. You can buy pretty much everything you desire, but I think they're gonna improve that baseline. But for a country in South America, when pretty much a military dictatorship, it's at on the home ground, it's hard to say where they're gonna land by the end of the century and how they're gonna be. And yeah, that was the video. If you like it, leave a like and discuss in the comment section.